Hi, folks. I feel the need to beam in on regarding what we saw yesterday um, at Christine Ohm's press conference with the assault of Senator Padilla. Um, and I'm speaking to you now as a historian who has done a lot of work on members of Congress and violence. My last book, The Field of Blood, Violence in Congress on the Road to Civil War, talked about what acts of violence against members of Congress meant, what they showed, what they represented, what they even symbolized. And I want to offer some thought along those lines because that assault is beyond crossing lines, but it crosses a lot of lines, and it has a really deep meaning, which we need to be aware of and consider and think about the implications. Okay, now go back with me, travel with me, accept me going back into the 19th century when I was writing about members of Congress attacking other members of Congress. At that time, largely it was Southerners attacking Northerners, people who opposed slavery, threatening them. Southerners often tended to be armed, threatening them with duels, sometimes literally attacking them, lunging at them, pulling guns and knives. What they were trying to do was intimidate Northerners and anti-slavery proponents, intimidate them into silence or compliance. They were trying to shut them up and get their way. That is what you do when you do not believe in the democratic process. In that case, they were doing so on the floor of the House, on the floor of the Senate, violating the meaning of representation, violating our system of government, and doing so for their interests, for their power, for their ability to preserve their ability to engage in slavery, to own people. That was what they were doing. What we saw yesterday was an assault on a senator. If this had happened in 1840, 1850, I can tell you what that senator would have said. He would have said, among other things, how dare you treat my state that way? In 1840, 1850, if someone was attacked, they would say, how dare you treat Ohio that way? How dare you treat New York that way? Because members of Congress in the House, in the Senate, they are standing for the people who they represent. And if you attack them, you are attacking their constituents. You are attacking their constituents' rights to representation, their constituents' rights to have their senator or representative ask questions, be present. You are attacking everything that that senator or representative represents. We saw that yesterday, unapologetically. We saw that. And I would encourage you, go find the video of what happened, because there's a lot of gaslighting going on from the current administration about what actually happened. They're trying to backpedal. Go watch the video footage. There's a lot of it out there. So watch for yourself. See what you think happened. But we ended up with a senator being forced to the ground and handcuffed. So his constituents were assaulted, were silenced, in essence. He was silenced, and the institution of Congress was violated. That was the executive branch treating a member of Congress with the utmost contempt and disrespect. And given that the executive branch, not just the president, but the executive branch at the current moment is not showing a lot of respect for the democratic process, for we the people, seeing the executive branch essentially silence a member of Congress and force them to kneel and get down on the ground, folks, there's no brighter red line that can be crossed at this point. It's part of a pattern. It's the same pattern that has the Marines being marched into LA when they're not needed, just as a show of force, intimidation, trying to get us to be silent or compliant out of fear. And I encourage you, think about the fact that what we saw was an assault on the democratic process, on the legislative branch, on everyone who this senator represents, and because of all of those things, an assault on we, the people. That's what we saw yesterday. It couldn't be more important, and it couldn't be more symbolic. I will have a lot more to say about this. I am at an airport, unable to be silent. My flight has not been announced yet, but at any rate, please give this some thought. I'm going to come back. I'm going to have a lot more to say on this, but I couldn't resist weighing in because the degree to which this should be upsetting us to an extreme degree, and I know it's going to, as happens so often in our news cycle, might drift away because of events that are going on now with Israel. Those are vitally important events. I'm not saying they're not. This is too. So anyway, I encourage you, process, think, find the actual video footage and watch it and listen to it for yourself. I will be back, beaming in more on this.